I have to tell you this funny story about this guy that I once wanted to date. I had a serious crush on him, like a Glenn Close kind of crush. I'm kidding, it really wasn't that bad, but it was pretty serious. The symptoms were a dead giveaway. My heart rate would increase around him. I broke out into a sweat. Well, that was before I found my great deodorant, but anyway, I just got this warm, fuzzy feeling anytime we were in the same room together. Of course, he didn't really give me the time of day, just maybe the friend thing or whatever if we happened upon each other, which I might have helped out a little bit on a couple of occasions. Still, nothing. I pined over him for a bit, nothing major, a few weeks maybe, something like that. And then one day, it was like, ding, it occurred to me maybe why his interest was never returned. So gonna back up, we had run into each other in a social setting, which, not my best environment, being an introvert, but I was really glad to run into him. He was someone that I knew, so that was kind of a relief, and we grabbed a corner booth and just chatting away. I think there was, a third person there with us, so there were three of us there in this corner booth. So I'm sipping my wine, we're talking, and then all of a sudden, this otherwise casual acquaintance really gets my attention, really captivates me. I could actually feel my pupils dilating right on the spot. It's to the point that I'm sure I was blushing. Of course, I kept telling myself it was just the wine. I kept looking at my wine glass thinking, oh, you're a bad wine. But then I woke up the next day sober, and the day after that, and the day after that, and nope. The image of his smile was still burned into my brain. It was definitely a crush. Back to this corner table where the sparks flew, for me anyway. So we're having this conversation, and of course my heart rate is like, oh. But I'm calm, I'm holding it together, it's good. He says to me, he reaches over for his phone and he scoots it next to my phone. And he said, let's bump phones. Well, let me just stop there and say, I didn't really have a smartphone at the time. I had a kind of a dumb phone. And I didn't know what it meant. When he was bumping our phones together, I was like, what are you doing? So I snatched my phone off the table. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So here I am weeks later after pining over this guy, and it occurs to me, because I learned what it meant, by the way, to bump phones. It means to share contact information. So it occurs to me weeks later that I, unintentionally of course, totally blew him off. I was like, oh my gosh, why can't I learn these things before I need to know them, right? I think back on that, and I always ask myself, did I blow him off, or was I totally in this alone to begin with? He very well just may not have been into me anyway.